In this module, we'll review all the features of the coaching portal. In your first few weeks of working here, you'll be assigned a buddy. Your buddy will be there to answer any related coaching questions as well as any operational questions. You'll also have opportunity to shadow them before you touch any users. But as always, you can reach out to your direct manager or to me. Now, the coaching portal is built in-house and is continuously getting updated. The coaching management team works in conjunction with the product, engineering, and design team to build out the coaching functionality. The portal is a management tool that stores all Pivoter's data in a highly secure HIPAA-compliant system. It equips you to do your job to not only see the user's data of which they've done in the app or the sensor, but also has a coaching chat feature where you can do everything in one snapshot. Now, I'm going to be walking you through, at high level, all of these items. But at the end of your week, we'll also do a deeper dive into these that I'll lead you through where you can ask any questions after you've already shadowed a few coaching sessions. Now, this is the dashboard. And keep in mind, I have all the bells and whistles populated and highlighted, so you wouldn't see this. It would be much more cleaner. But I just wanted to show you everything that's highlighted first. So this feature here is our schedule. It's a hamburger menu, and when you click this, it'll give you a drop-down list of every user you're going to talk to today. You'll also see that I have highlighted here in this drop-down menu behind it all my active users. Whenever you click one of these three activities, it'll show you that list of users. You really only need to see your active users. Everybody that's inactive, you don't really need to worry about. Anyone that you've archived, you'll have a history of every person you've archived in the app. As you can see, this is my coaching name. I can search users by their name, or I can search by their access code. Now, from left to right here, the flags feature is created on the user's profile, but you actually get to create this. And you can set a priority as low or high. Now, this is just something if you want to do as a quick note to yourself, so you can look at it at a glance here. You'd hover over it, and it'd tell you what the note was. Next is the pivoter's name. The next thing you need to worry about is tags. Really, the only two tags that you need to worry about are welcome back, new pivoter. The rest of those are out of date, and we need to update those. As I said, this is a continuous process that we update as the app updates. But new pivoter essentially is when you get assigned a new user, and a welcome back pivoter is someone that was inactive that's recently messaged you. Milestones are what the user's done in the app. Obviously, here you are the coach, and then you'll see the access code of the user that they're assigned to, so what company they work for, and finally you'll see when they've messaged you, and you'll see a number indicated here. Now, on their profile, we'll see a bunch of different things here. So you can see that Dawn, that's her name. I can see that she is a D2C. That means she's a direct to client, and that I got her in September. So she's a D2C from September. She's been inactive for about 17 days. So this told me the last day she was active. And it'll actually go from minutes to hours to weeks to days to weeks to months. I can see the type of user she is. So she's a tobacco smoker. It would say if she was e-cig or dual or something like that. I can see that she's been in the program she has a program of 1 year, and her time will end. This will be more accurate soon. This is a new feature. Let's say 3 months. And I can also see that this person is, let's say I copied and pasted this. So this person is a female, not a male. She's 50 and she lives in Minnesota. I can also see this section called More here. So More, when you click on that, it'll actually show you the person's telephone number. It'll show you if they received a text message, if they want a phone call, their email, and the user ID, as well as what type of app they have. So if they have a iOS or an Android, it'll say it, and it'll say their latest version here. So there's a few NAs here. So that's because this user's been here for quite a while, and it's an old profile. And unanswered, or if it says yes, that's your indication to give them a call. Or offer them a call or schedule that time with them. If it says no, then you just go straight into chatting with the user. Web registration will also be here too. So anything that the user put in the app, like I indicated in the user experience training. So let's say how many cigarettes per day they smoke. That'll go here temporarily. Now, to schedule a user, as you can see, I click that hamburger menu on that front page, and this thing populates down. So anybody that I've got newly assigned will be here. Anyone that sent me a recent message will be here. Anybody that I need to talk to today. Anybody that sent me a message that was once inactive and now active. Anyone I'm talking to tomorrow, and everybody else. And as you can see, people in yellow, that means that they have not been assigned a date to schedule. If this happened to be red, it means I've missed their touch point. right? So once I go to their profile, let's say I want to, today is the 7th, and I want to schedule them on the 9th or the 8th. Let's say today is the 8th, and I want to schedule them for tomorrow. Well, now Dawn will populate in tomorrow or today, depending on whatever day I put her at. I've scheduled her at. So every time you finish, it will say either reschedule or complete. Let's say today is the 9th and I talk to her. I will see another green button here that says complete, and then I would reschedule that with her. We'll also ask you to set up a Calendly account. There are directions to do so in the app or in the LMS itself, but essentially this is a place where you'll send a link directly to your pivoters if they've said yes. So if you see here yes or unanswered, you would be sending them your Calendly link. And we've asked you to select a few times every week that you are accessible. Now, what is on the portal? What is on the user's profile page? Well, there's a lot of things, again, highlighted here that you will not necessarily see. It'll be much cleaner in your view. I just wanted to populate everything here for you. But again, here's the user's profile. Everything we went over in the previous slide. If I click more, it would flip that screen and it'd show me all of their web registration information. If I click on this down arrow here, it'll tell me if they're active, I want to move them to inactive or archive. I can also see my clinical notes here, my flags that would be set on my dashboard, as you can see right here. I can resolve those or I can discard them. Here is where you would see the chat history with your user. Anything in green means that you sent them a message. If this happened to be yellow, it means that you haven't read the message yet, and there's a button at the top here that'll say mark all read. As of right now, our portal is a little outdated, so we're working on a redesign of the feed itself, is what we're calling this, is the feed. But you can click on any stage here. So these stages are old. As I said, we now have learn, build, and quit. This is our previous model of the app. But essentially, all you have to do is it's very similar to learn with explore and build. Some of these different items are very similar, but you'll just, as a user completes items at the bottom here, you'll see as they've completed it. Now, if I click on this drop-down menu here, I'll also be able to see every SIG log they've had, and I'll also be able to see if they've ordered any NRTs. You also have coaching scripts here, so you have these little buttons here where you can see the scripts. You also have a place here where if there's happened to be a bug in the portal, you can do that. You can log it there. And if you want to see any FAQs, so let's say, for instance, a user asks you a question and you're not quite sure, you'd be able to go to another place where we have tons of information there that you can copy and paste for the user. Now, your scripts, as you'll go over a little bit later, talk about pre- and post-quit items, so things like triggers and routines, all the way to withdrawals, medications, and celebrations. Now, once a user gets onboarded, a few things will happen. You'll receive a tag that says new pivoter, right? And once you've seen that tag, that will populate into your coaching schedule. Within 1 to 2 days, you will be sending them either a link to your Calendly so they can schedule a call, or you will welcome them to the program if they decided not to opt into a call. Your hours of operation are 8 to 6, Monday through Friday, in your time zone. We ask that you respond within 1 business day to a user, and our current ratio is 125 to 1. Our goal is to get to 150 to 1 by the end of the year. So after they've gone through the onboarding call, which you'll do through Dialpad, you will do your touch points on a twice a weekly basis until they hit a 14-day PPA, meaning they've quit for 14 days solid. Once they've done that, you'll drop it down to once a week for 30 days. Once they've done that, it'll be every other week for 60 days. And then once they've hit 90, you'll do once a month until they exit the program, whether it's a 2-month or a 6-month. If it's a 2-month program, you talk to them twice a week for 8 weeks. If it's a 6-month or longer, you follow this process here. If a user goes inactive, let's say for 21 days and they haven't done anything in the Pivot app, used a sensor or messaged you, you will nudge them at least 2 to 3 times, and then you'll move them to inactive. If a user has been inactive for 60 to 90 days, you will give them a warning message, and once they've hit 120 days, you will actually archive that user. And again, we're going to go through all of this in more detail. This is just a brief overview of the portal and its features itself. Lastly, some things that are coming down the pipeline in the future. We're going to redesign that feed so it won't look like this anymore. It'll be more accurate to the app. We'll also be providing more web registration, so it won't be in this more section. It'll actually be in this drop-down section here. We'll also be providing more graphic of the graphics for the CO log as well as the SIG log. So you'll see more of how it looks in the users in their app itself. That'll indicate here for you in the coaching portal. We'll also be doing 2 additional things. So right now, we don't have an administrative dashboard, and we're currently working on that for our managers. And we're also working on getting you a weekly or daily report so you can get a pulse of all of your users in the app.